Neill Blomkamp is back after District 9 and Elysium. Chappie. So Chappie stars Neill Blomkamp favorite Charlton Copley, Hugh Jackman, Sigourney Weaver, Dev Patel, and this rap R&B group of this guy and girl that I knew nothing about going into this movie and feel like I know everything about them coming out of it because their music was sprinkled throughout this movie. They were wearing their own band t-shirts and they were going by their own stage names, and they had their promo pictures posted all over their little gangster hut area they were hanging out in. So this film felt like it was a huge advertisement for their group. So I don't know if Blomkamp's a huge fan of them or what, but their shit was sprinkled all over this movie. But nevertheless, I love District 9. It's one of my favorite in recent years. Elysium I had some reserves about, but overall enjoyed the themes to it. And that's why I was excited for Chappie, because Neill Blomkamp is a very talented director in my opinion, and he brings fresh, original ideas to the screen, and I really respect that about him as a filmmaker. Regardless of what you think about his movies, I just really respect original ideas. So I was excited for this movie. It was in my top 10 most anticipated films for this year, and I ended up really enjoying this movie. Now, there's some things about it that I didn't care for too much, but it didn't affect me because of one particular thing, which I will get into in a minute here. First, a couple of things I didn't really care for. These gangster characters that, I wasn't expecting to have such a big part in this film at all. They ended up playing a huge role in this movie, and for the first half of the film, I could care less about them. I had no connection to them. They were really shitty people, and I just didn't really care what their morals were at all and just couldn't get behind them. As the movie went on, I started to kind of not so much sympathize with them, but got behind their characters. They became a little bit more grounded and humane, so you're able to relate a little bit more to them. So that saved it as the film went on. And there's one particular decision in this film that the lead type gangster guy makes where, they have Chappie, they need Chappie to help them do something, and they just go leave him in the middle of nowhere. And, there's this AI technology running around that people are looking for at this point. And they're just like, yeah, we're just going to drop you off in the middle of nowhere and toughen you up, so make your way back to us. It's like, if you need him, why are you leaving him? You have no idea he's going to make it back to you. Like, what are you going to do if he winds up getting caught and destroyed or anything like that? So I really did not understand why that was a part of the movie. I think that could have been handled a lot better. Really stupid part. But, I was able to look past all of that because of the character of Chappie. So the film, it's basically Dev Patel has created this police force, and it's all these AI technologies that are running around policing Johannesburg, and it's been really successful. Crime rate's down. The police love it because police officers are safe now. There's less police dying, and the rest of the world's starting to catch fire and catch wind, and they want to invest and start, police governing the world essentially. And one person doesn't like that, and that's Hugh Jackman, because he has his own plans in mind, and he's having a rough time with his own stuff because funding's getting cut for him, and he can't continue doing what he wants to do, and that is these giant mech bots that are essentially, the giant mech bots in RoboCop. They're pretty much the same exact thing, and instead of being an AI technology running around, this would be a mech bot that would be controlled by a human inside a control room, and that's what he's going for. I really thought the film was going to center more around Dev Patel and Hugh Jackman butting heads against, what's more important, these AI technologies running around or these mech bots and the funding between their different programs and all that. That did not end up playing a huge part in this movie, so I wasn't disappointed by that because Hugh Jackman did get his moment to shine, and, it really brought I thought, a really, fantastic and thrilling third act to this film, and, just really invigorating. But what this film really is for me is this character of Chappie, played by Charlton Copley, and Charlton Copley kills it in all of Blomkamp's films. He was the main dude in District 9, absolutely amazing performance, and he was also the main antagonist in Elysium, which I thought he crushed that too. For me, that was his movie. He owned that movie with that role. And comes back once again for Chappie, and this character of Chappie is amazing. So, Dev Patel creates the first ever AI technology that can, it's essentially a human but a robot. It can think for itself, make up its own mind, have its own feelings and emotions, and learn. And it was just really cool to see this because, Chappie starts off as an infant and it's learning based on its surroundings. So, being stuck with these bad people, that's how Chappie's growing up. So there's a lot of kind of, undertone themes to that, which I kind of like where he was going with that. There's definitely something to be said with that, where how your brain can be warped based on the things that you're around, and that's how you feel, this is normal behavior, this is how things should be. I really think he was trying to get a point across with that, and I really appreciated that in this movie. The character of Chappie was absolutely amazing, and any little niche about this movie that kind of bothered me was completely washed away by how much I was just captured by Charlton Copley's performance. This character Chappie, I was laughing, I was emotionally invested into, got even emotional a couple moments where you get that epic watery eye feeling and everything. So I was really, really behind this character Chappie, and Charlton Copley brought that character to life. Everything about this movie for me and why I loved it so much was all based around this character Chappie. I don't understand why there's so much, hate and people pissing and moaning about this movie right now. I definitely can understand some reserves for it, but this performance by Charlton Copley and the character of Chappie, just in my opinion, it's one of the best characters put to screen in a while. Now, another thing that needs to be said is Neill Blomkamp's choice for special effects in his movies. That was one thing that really stood out in District 9. The effects of the aliens in that film, they looked so unbelievably realistic. It's just, how come everybody isn't making shit look this good in their movies? I mean, it was one of those kinds of moments. Did the same thing with Elysium, and no doubt did it again here with Chappie. Because the CGI in here, not that there's a whole bunch of it, but it's the most realistic special effects I have ever seen in film. And he's done it with all three of his movies so far. And that definitely helps for me, I would imagine, and for other people too, to get that emotional connection to these characters. It's just like in Guardians of the Galaxy, you can get that emotional connection with Groot, and it's because the character is just brought to life in such a way, and the effects look so good. That's how I was with Chappie, and I need Charlton Copley to get some more work, because I really feel, that guy, to me, he's Neill Blomkamp's Christoph Waltz. Like Christoph Waltz to Tarantino is like Charlton Copley to Neill Blomkamp. The guy's just got some serious acting chops, and he brought this character to life, the same way I felt the apes were brought to life for Rise and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I was just really into it. I enjoyed the movie. I'm definitely going to pick it up on Blu-ray when it comes out. Like I said, there's definitely some reserves with it, but overall, this character of Chappie and how that was brought to life on screen, and just my emotional connection to that character, it took me through this movie, where any issue I had with it really just isn't affecting me. I can look right past it and, still really enjoy this movie for what it is. So I'm really happy with it. It is in my top 10 most anticipated films, and, there's a reason for that, and it was proven to me when I saw the movie. So really happy with the film. I cannot wait to see what Blomkamp is going to do with Alien, because that is what's coming next. He's got Sigourney Weaver on board for that. It's taking place after Aliens. Cannot wait to see how that looks, especially with the special effects this guy brings to the table. It's going to be phenomenal. And, he's coming out talking about doing District 10, so I'm really excited. I hope we get a District 10, because, again, District 9 was amazing, and they definitely left that open for a sequel, so we'll see what happens. Nevertheless, though, guys, I enjoyed Chappie. I don't understand a lot of the hate for it, but regardless, I enjoyed the movie. If you guys have seen Chappie, leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about it. If you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.